You may be losing out on hundreds of leads if you're not doing this correctly with your website. On average, someone will spend 2 seconds on your website before they decide whether they want to stay or bounce. That means you literally have seconds to communicate your message so that they want to stay and keep browsing your website. That's why it is vital to have a strategy when designing your website. So this is my homepage strategy that actually grows your business and doesn't leave visitors bouncing off of your website. Hi, my name is Sharon. I'm a graphic designer and website designer of 24 years. And today I'm going to share with you my exact strategy that I use with my web clients to actually gain them clients and not just have a pretty website. By the end of this video, you will know how to turn your homepage into prime real estate that works for you 24/7 to help grow your business. Step one, we're going to talk about the section of your website called above the fold. Now, this is an old-fashioned term from when newspapers were still used in abundance, and that folded part that everyone sees right when they land on your website, that is your most prime real estate. This is our most important part, and the only way we have to catch people's attention so that in those 2 seconds, they don't leave. So in this section, we're going to be very concise. Speak in 1 to 2 sentences at most, and we're going to tell them who we are and how we help people. It's really that simple. You wouldn't believe how many websites I go to that say, "Welcome to my website," or use a quote as their header, or just leave it blank, or just use their logo. Do not do those things. The other things that go above the fold that are going to make it very easy for people to navigate your website and to take action, this is key in having a high converting website, is to have easy navigation, which means less than 6 items to choose from at the top, and then have a button of what you want them to do. So is it to work with you, to book a call, to purchase from the store? That needs to be in a call to out button so they know exactly what it is you want people to do when they come to your website. I know some people like to get creative with their call to action and make it like blend in with the background. And while aesthetically this might look very pretty, I do not recommend it from a user standpoint because people will scan really quickly and miss your call to action. Make sure your calls to action are different looking than all of your other text. And it's usually, when it comes to websites, is either in a button form. It can be, aesthetically matching with your website so they know where to click. Now, the next section of your website, I usually leave for your credentials. It doesn't have to be right after the header, but a lot of times you'll notice in websites, it'll be right after that. This is your section to show off why you're an expert in what you do. So usually it could be featured in, magazines, or my clients have been featured, or my clients are. These are credentials that show that you are an expert in what you do. If you don't have any high-end clients or high-end businesses that you work with, you can be creative with this area. Sometimes I put 5-star ratings from reviews, or you can put stats like I've worked with 100 clients. So little things that either stats or show that you're credible at what you do. Now, the next section, we are going to address our ideal clients' struggles. This is where we connect and show them that we really identify with what they're struggling with. So here, we're going to directly address our ideal clients' desires and the challenges that they face. Example language could be, you might feel stuck, or have you been struggling with this? After you've addressed the ideal client's problems, they know that you understand them. So now is your chance to show the solution to that problem. So here's where you show your offers. Now think of your homepage as more of like a magazine table of contents. So you're going to just give a brief summary of each of your services, 3 really at tops. We don't want to overwhelm them. And then they can click on which one they want to get more information. It's really just to say, here's these 3 services, and then they can choose which one they want to learn more about. The next section is social proof. So this is where you're going to show testimonials from past clients that say that they've worked with you. This is proof that you are capable of doing what you say you can do. People are very, very interested in what other people say about you and not just what you say about you. So make sure and get some testimonials. If you don't have any, start getting in the habit of regularly asking for testimonials after each project. You can send them specifically to Google. So start asking for that Google 5-star review, and you'll kill two birds with one stone. The next section is a short about section. So I definitely encourage people to put a photo of you. You are the face of your business. People work with other people. Really, if you're shy about taking a photo of yourself, please listen that it's not for you. It's for that connection that people need to see that there's actually another person behind this business, that it's not a scam, that it's not fake, and it's not just some big corporation. This is a real person. And so they want to see the face of the person that they're working with. And this section is not going to be your full about bio. This is just a short paragraph. It's not just going to be all about you. We really want to focus on how your experience helps your ideal client. So this isn't like, I was born in here and I grew up here and all of the story of your entire life. We're really just making this concise for what's pertinent for your ideal audience. And what's pertinent is your experience, how you can help people. And if you have a personal testimony, that's super great. But right on the homepage is just a short paragraph. Then underneath that paragraph, you're going to put a button that says learn more or more about. Then they can click that button and that will take them to the about page where you have more information. Okay, after that section, we are going to put people on an email list. Now, mostly 90% of the time when people come to your website, they are not ready to purchase yet. So that means if you don't capture them onto an email list, they're going to leave your website and never return again. And we don't want to lose leads. If they're just remotely interested, we want to get them onto an email list. So this is where your lead magnet comes in. And if you're a service provider, this would be a short guide, a short ebook that would help them on their journey just to get started. It could even be the first steps to working with you. And that way they can download something for free, gives them a little bit more insight into what it's like to work with you, your knowledge, and how you help people. Definitely make it something that's very helpful and not just fluff. I really hate downloading ebooks that are completely fluff and don't help you really with anything. So make sure it's of value. And this way you are going to start to grow your leads and grow your email list. I will have a separate video on how to create that lead magnet and how to connect it from an email management program like Flowdesk to your Squarespace or Showit website. Now, there are some optional sections that you can include in your homepage, but they are not absolutely required. Those are things like your top highlighted blog posts. The other section that you could add to your homepage is a shop teaser. So if you do have a shop, you have like t-shirts or mugs, or if you have digital products, I would also suggest a section that highlights your best-selling products. Your last section is your footer. Now, don't dismiss the footer. It is actually very good real estate as well. In your footer, you're going to have another call to action at the bottom, which could be to get onto your email list, or it could be that button to work with you. The footer is also a place to put all of your pages so that people don't have to scroll all the way back up to the top to navigate through your website. Now that they've gotten all the way to the bottom, they can see your full navigation, even maybe some pages that you have hidden from the top navigation at the bottom so that they can go through that and choose their next step. I do recommend repeating your logo, repeating who you are and who you serve. This is also the section to put your social media. Now, I don't recommend putting your social media at the top of your website because we don't want people to leave your website. We want them to stay on your website. So don't put your social media at the top of your website. The other two things that go into your footer are your privacy policy and your terms of service. Now, everybody who collects any email addresses, any kind of personal data is required by law to have a privacy policy on their homepage. Now, you can get a free one. You can search up free policy page. I think Squarespace has a W1 that you can fill in your information on it. There are also lawyer websites where you can get a very detailed privacy policy page. Your terms of service is also really important if you have a shop that talks about things like your refund policy, anything that like how you handle clients. So a lot of that goes into your terms of service. So I do recommend as a business owner that you have both. You can find free versions and you can find lawyer drawn up versions. I've done both. So I think if you're just starting, start with the free version, but definitely work your way up to having a more solid one written up by a lawyer. As people go through your website, make things as easy to click as possible. Don't forget to put buttons and make things clickable. If you don't have your services clickable to go to the services page, people are not going to understand why they aren't clickable. Half the reason why people leave is because they are confused, and we don't want to confuse anybody. We want to make this as easy as possible. So put yourself in your user's seat, if you will, and make things as easy for them to find as possible. If you would like to download my high converting website planner, I have that over on my website under the resources page. And I would love to hear from you. What sections were you missing from your website, and which ones do you need to add? I'm proud of you guys for working on your website, and we'll talk soon.